It's homecoming week for the All-Star Monster Truck Tour, and that means it's time to make some thunder on the state line. Up next, the Appalachian Mountains will rumble under the massive pounding of 12,000-pound giants. Welcome to the Tennessee-Georgia state line. We are literally on the state line. You may hear a little debate depending on who you talk to about exactly where Boyd Speedway is. Some people say it's in Ringgold, Georgia. Some people will say it's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, since this is the homecoming for the Tennessee-based All-Star Monster Truck Tour, we're going to call it Chattanooga as 6 machines get ready to take on a track that took on a ton of rain. It's been raining all week long, torrential downpours, and that means when the staff came in, Stacy Jensen, Gene Jensen, Chuck Plumley, Brian Wagner, and crew had to literally remove thousands of yards of dirt from the surface and truck in new dirt that was dry that they could then work into the track. Now, they got a little sprinkle, but that served to help them pack it. And as you can see, the light-colored dirt is the dirt that they trucked in, but the sun came out and helped dry this place up. Now, there's a couple other storylines coming into competition. There you see John Zimmer Jr., terminal velocity. He will not make the competition. Came out for intros, bumped the wall. He found the one mud puddle up on the front stretch. And when he hit the wall on this next shot, watch the front shocks. Broke a heim, let a 4-link bar loose, and that truck is moving back and forth. He bent all 4 front shocks. It takes too long to remove the body to get the shocks off the truck. He may be back for freestyle, though, so we'll keep an eye out as we get things underway with the best trick competition. And opening things up will be none other than the Empire Flyer himself, Montana Robbins, out of Watkins, New York, in the blue Silverado called Plain Crazy. Not a bad first hit. We'll see what he has to follow it up. Remember, it's 2 hits in the best trick competition. Love the blower whine in this truck, man. This thing is always tuned so nice. You can definitely get the horsepower to the ground. Let's see what he has for a second hit. Not a bad start to get things warmed up, but I have a feeling he'll have more for us as the weekend goes on. He'll open things up with a score of 3 in the best trick competition. Remember, they will tabulate points throughout the night for each event being best trick racing and freestyle. As our next machine comes up, Kristen Migus out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, and one of the J.R. McNeil team machines, the Wolf's Head machine. She and her husband out here keeping this thing running this weekend, this Patrick Chassis monster. Fan favorite with the kids. Let's see what she has as she tries to one-up Montana Robbins. Getting some hang time, and you can see it's very tight down here because of all the dirt that they had to remove. They had to leave it on the back side of this track. This normally would be a lot wider space they'd have to work with, but they did not skimp on the size of the obstacles. Awesome hit right there for Wolf's Head. I do believe she's going to raise the bar. We'll see by how much, but a solid run right now for Kristen Migus. Wolf's Head will move into the number 1 spot with a score of 5. By 2 points, she'll jump into the lead. So our next machine comes up, another one. It's a big favorite with the kids. Triton Robbins out of Watkins, New York in Crazy Train. This is the machine Chuck Plumley has been affectionately calling the Chattanooga Choo Choo. Big Eddie Matchka chassis with the Rockwell corners. This truck will take a punishment. Let's see what Triton has. Been working on those stoppies. Getting the job done. What you see right there is an open front end, so when he got on the brakes, one wheel freewheeled, it actually turned the truck. on the nose. Wheeling right down the upside of that ramp, Triton Robbins stepping it up in the crazy train. See the team back there waiting for him to come back. Another look at that stoppie. You can see utter control. That team just stepping up leaps and bounds. It's great to see the two brothers out here supporting each other. Two very different characters, two different driving styles, but almost identical trucks, and that score of 8 will launch him into the #1 spot. That's good because he's got some stiff competition coming up behind him now as Buddy Tompkins rolls out of Deltona, Florida, another member of the J.R. McNeil Amalie Oil Ramp Trucks team, Raising Cane. Ready to take to the track for best trick competition. We've seen some awesome things from Buddy already this year. Let's see what he has here at Boyd Speedway. Absolutely incredible. Perfect stoppie, perfect moonwalk, goes flying backwards over the jump, a lot of rebound. But it worked for him. Really testing the rigidity of those petty bones when he came back down on the brakes. Truck's got a new body on it, and he's not afraid to risk it. Flying high, Buddy Tompkins and Raising Cane. Putting that Patrick chassis machine to work. Beautiful run for Tompkins. Another look at that stoppie. Look at it. It slid, stood right up on the nose, but this is what was incredible. Again, the rebound right there, he landed where there was no suspension, and to score of 8, he will tie Triton Robbins, and I think the reason he didn't jump over him is because he didn't get what he wanted out of that second move. Now, the legend John Zimmer out of Vermont, driving the Indiana-based Overboard, sponsored by Steps Towing. Getting some hang time as... See the flag on the back? He's representing Chattanooga Valley Auto Parts here this weekend. Gets the slap wheelie, leaves the Chattanooga Valley flag in the dirt. Zimmer laying down kind of a mini freestyle here, and I don't think that's going to take over the #1 spot. It was a good run. Remember, only 2 of the moves he just laid down are going to count as he will throw up by 1 point short, a score of 7.
Should go to Crazy Train.
Now, it goes to the crowd.
Who thinks the win should go to Raising Cane? They're telling me it's Raising Cane. Buddy Tompkins, you are the winner. Freestyles to go.
You know what? Racing motorcycles like this guy told you earlier. You know what? I didn't come out here for this best trick win. I didn't come out here for this racing win. I came out here to get all y'all on your feet and get rowdy. It's Friday night. We're having fun. I want to hear y'all. Let's go.
Tell you what, that vein in the side of his head's about to pop. He's pumped up. As we wrap up the best trick competition, we're just getting underway here at Boyd Speedway. More to come. Racing is next. Don't go anywhere.
This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Monsters Monthly. For up-to-date show, ticket info, and a wide selection of photo and video galleries, visit monstersmonthly.com. And by RPM Army, featuring action-packed content from around the web. Visit rpmarmy.com, your source for motorsports on the go.
Hey, welcome to Wild Man Adventures. versus Silver Lake Sand Dragway. There really wasn't any off-roading back then. It was all off-road. We're on our way to Lima, Ohio. Got wooden wheels.
Oh, it's slippery as all get out.
Hey, we're here with Rich Cummins. Hey, we're here with Mike Potter. Hey, we're here with Alan Pizzo. Gotta check it out. This week we're gonna go down memory lane.
This Back Channel Productions program is brought to you in part by Crush This. For an inside look at the world of monster trucks, check out Crush This, available on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Welcome back to the Tennessee-Georgia state line here at Boyd Speedway as we continue on with this coverage of the 2021 All-Star Monster Truck Tour Round 1 racing about to get underway. And this is what the bracket was supposed to look like. Crazy Train going to take on Wolf's Head. That'll still be happening. Raising Cane and Plain Crazy will meet up, but Overboard will have a bye into the next round by virtue of drawing Terminal Velocity. That was supposed to be a father-son matchup right off the bat per the blind draw. That's not going to happen. They're still trying to get Terminal Velocity fixed to see if they can bring it out here for Monster Truck Freestyle, though that is going to hurt him in the points. There's no way he can really take a win, but that team loves to turn on a crowd as our first pairing rolls out to the line. You just saw Triton Robbins and Crazy Train, the Eddie Chassis Machine, going up against Kristen Migus in Wolf's Head with the Patrick Chassis. Two wild-looking concept vehicles. The Wolf out of the state of Florida, part of the J.R. McNeil team, and the Train out of the state of New York, part of the Robbins racing team from Lawton, New York. This should be a good race between two of the young guns in the sport. Watch for the green light. The jump off the line, going to the Train, into the first turn, a lead for Crazy Train. And Migus overjumps the last turn. I don't know if she knew that she wasn't done with the run or not, but she will not get that win. A DNF for her. 1780 to set the pace for Crazy Train. We will see. Yeah, it does sound like she did not know she was short one turn there. She bombed that jump like she was headed toward the finish line, so we'll see now. Her teammate Buddy Tompkins rolls out. Raising Cane already has the best trick victory. He's going to take on the other half of the public transportation racing team, as Jeff Bursey calls him. Plain Crazy. Montana Robbins, another Eddie Chassis, going up against another Patrick Chassis. And there you see the Eddie Chassis, the bright blue Silverado. Beautiful machine. One of the more consistent trucks to show up on tour in a long time. Watch for the green light as he takes on Buddy Tompkins. Pretty even off the start. Better turn for Robbins. He is way out in front right now. Tompkins going to try to make up the distance. Man, you talk about trying to come from behind. Not going to work for him, though. Look at the times, though. 2/100 of a second separating those two trucks. Plain Crazy picking up the victory. And the youngsters absolutely love it. But keep in mind, Tompkins will be coming back as a fast loser, as he's the only losing truck to complete the course. His teammate failed to do so, so he will come back and rematch with Montana Robbins and Plain Crazy. And then our first matchup in this round is going to be Triton Robbins, who actually ran the same ET in round number 1 as Buddy Tompkins. He's going to take on Overboard and John Zimmer Sr. And this is interesting. By virtue of having the bye run into this round, you have to wonder if Overboard is going to be at a disadvantage having not run the track yet. There's some slick spots still on this track, but You can see the work that the All-Star Monster Truck track crew did definitely paid off, as we have some awesome close racing here so far. We'll see, though, as our first pairing of the semifinals goes to war. It's Zimmer versus Robbins. They're right there together, a lead for the train. No, he's in trouble as he clips the jammer car overboard. Moving on to the final round. Take nothing away from him, though. He just ran the fastest time on the course, 15.92 seconds. For John Zimmer out of Arlington, Vermont, driving the Hoosier Chevrolet. Now our second pairing of the semifinal round, rolling up a rematch of that we had in the final pairing of round number one. Now they've changed lanes, but remember, though, on a round-to-round course, you'll run both turns, so we'll see if there's an advantage running one side of the track or the other. It's plain crazy. Gets set to rematch with Raising Cane. The line together, a big lead for Montana Robbins as Buddy Tompkins gets in trouble. Tompkins with a beautiful final turn, and a huge leap will pick up the victory with a come from behind to 16.99. So he will go to the finals against John Zimmer. What a race there, those two. Going back and forth now. They both had a shot at each other. 1 for 1 between Buddy Tompkins and Montana Robbins. And boy, you got to tip your hat to Robbins. He's been handling this track. Buddy Tompkins had to rely on horsepower to get that win. He had a beautiful final turn, but man, did he almost come up short again. He made it back with a come from behind. Now, you may have seen this obstacle, so to speak, sitting on the backstretch. Well, that's not for the monster trucks. It's for Scarecrow. Who's Scarecrow? We're about to explain as we send it down to Chuck Plumley.
Scarecrow, world-renowned stuntman. He's here tonight. He's got his crew guy. He's looking at those. You see the red, white, and blue cars sitting there in the middle of Boyd Speedway? Well, we've got what Scarecrow calls the torpedo crash. He's going to haul the mail backwards from turn 4 to turn 3 and then crash through those crush cars. But we got to make some noise. We got to cheer him on. Homecoming week of the All-Star Monster Truck Tour. Here's Scarecrow.
Just something different for the homecoming here at Boyd Speedway for the All-Star Monster Truck Tour, and you see the big flash of gas bombs as Scarecrow plows through with the Thunderbird, knocking the stack apart. Always cool to see these thrill show elements back at these monster truck shows. We are not done yet, though. The Monster Truck Racing Championship and Freestyle still to come. Stay with us. We are back at Boyd Speedway just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee on the Tennessee-Georgia state line for the championship round of All-Star Monster Truck Tour racing action. Freestyle still to come, but this will add a few more points to one of these guys' totals as they nudge up close to each other. This is a fitting end to this as these two trucks have both been very fast here tonight. Overboard with the best time so far on this track of 15.92 to a 16.99 by Raisin Kane. Overboard has been faster by over a second. His average track time, his reaction time has been lightning quick at a 9/100ths of a second reaction time to an 8/10ths of a second reaction time by Buddy Tompkins. And then Raisin Kane, though, been faster into the first turn by only 1/100th of a second. So these are two very evenly matched trucks as we get ready to go to war here in the final round. Watch for the green light. Overboard and Raisin Kane. And the big bad Chevy picks up a victory by 6/100ths of a second. John Zimmer in the steps towing Overboard, picking up some points on Buddy Tompkins. After that race, what a run that was. Both those guys ran two of the best runs we've seen on this track, and you can see there's still a little standing water out there, but again, you got to tip your hat to our track crew here. As hard as they worked to get this track dry. There you see how quick John Zimmer made his way around the corners, and I have to think the corner up here where the tire is the quicker route around, just because that obstacle is a little bit more narrow. As the crowd looks on, we'll be getting ready for Monster Truck Freestyle, and that will help us decide the overall points here at the end of the night. Right now, though, Overboard, you see by 2 points, sitting in the lead over Buddy Tompkins and Raisin Kane. Then it's Crazy Train, sitting 5 points up on his brother, Plain Crazy, and then Wolf's Head sitting in the number 5 spot. Terminal Velocity will have points after the freestyle, but currently hasn't made any runs, so he is not got any. And speaking of Terminal Velocity, there he is, John Zimmer Jr. out of Arlington, Vermont, and another one of those awesome Hoosier bass machines of Jamie Garner. The concussion chassis, Terminal Velocity, the 41 Willis, about to go to work on the track. Now, he's probably not going to hit anything too big. The front end of this truck is still damaged. They've got the 4-link bars under there, but the front shocks are still not at 100%. In fact, all 4 of those shock shafts are bent pretty badly. So, still able to do that as he gets into cyclone territory. Nicely done, gets it into a moonwalk. Now, he may have tried to walk that back over that obstacle normally, but again, if you look at, you can see how bent those front shocks are. There was no way he was going to take a chance on landing that thing on the nose and doing further damage. Just coming out, getting things warmed up, knowing he couldn't get an overall victory, letting the crowd see the truck. A score of 15, not bad for how short a time he was out here. But he does set the stage nicely with a strong opening run as Montana Robbins rolls out in Plain Crazy, the Empire Flyer, the big Silverado out of Watkins, New York. The Eddie Matchkin chassis with big horsepower inside. Young driver, 15 years of age. He and his brother really have brought new life to this team at Bob Robbins, the first of this 2-generation team. When he brought out his original trucks, Aftershock, and then later Crazy Train blossoming into a name all its own. Now Montana Robbins picking up where Dad left off with Plain Crazy. Got him a good run going, but it looks like the steering problems that he's been having over the past couple weeks are coming back to haunt him. And that is going to wrap up the run for Montana Robbins and Plain Crazy. A score of 16 to get to the number 1 spot. As I don't think that is going to hang in there for the victory at the end of the night, but you can't take anything away from him. Very wisely backed out of it to avoid damaging the truck again. They've got to go here tomorrow. As another machine rolls out, that is Kristen Migus out of New Smyrna Beach, Florida, the Patrick Chassis Wolf's Head. He's getting plenty of grip with those big shaved Firestones as they dig into the clay here. Again, new clay that's been laid down on this track. They literally had to bring in about an arena and a half's worth of dirt and completely resurface this infield. All those piles of dirt you see on the backstretch, if you tried to stand on those, you'd sink down immediately. They are nothing but quicksand. Now there's a little knoll of dirt back there if you really want to take a shot at it. Some of these guys said they might, but I doubt we're going to see anything like that. As Migus actually almost caught an edge right there. Got her a good run going. We'll see if she got one up on Robbins there at an 18. She will take the lead, and Wolf said short and sweet for our first few, but I guarantee you those are not going to hang in there at 27 right now for overboard, and that means that John Zimmer needs a 10 or better to get on top. But it all depends on what Raising Cane's score is. After freestyle, he needs at least a 12 to get on top. And Crazy Train, he'll need a 14 to get to the number 1 spot. So stay with us. The action is going to get wild when our final 3 competitors come out for freestyle here at Boyd Speedway. Action continues here on the state line at Boyd Speedway. Triton Robbins in the Chattanooga Choo Choo Crazy Train out of Lawton's, New York, smoking as he comes down the backstretch and around turn number 4 as he heads toward the infield. I believe he might have a head gasket going away. I'm not sure. There on the infield again. Not the distance they were hoping to have, as they had to completely resurface the front side near the poles. Normally they'd be racing all the way around the telephone poles down there, but doing what they can with what they have, and I think they're putting on a pretty awesome show as Triton Robbins lays it down in Crazy Train. Pole right in front of him. He had to set it down. That stoppie is not working out the way he's wanted it to here tonight, but he's definitely turning the crowd on. I'd say at this point, he's raised the bar. He's run a longer run than anybody else so far here tonight as he clips one of the concrete barriers coming back. A nice sky wheelie. You really want to be careful getting into the corners of those concrete rails, as you can cut down a tire very easily. Robbins, though, laying down a solid running Crazy Train. He's going to wrap it up right there. Keep in mind, he needs a 14. That's not only against the current standings, but against the potential of the other trucks. At 22 will definitely launch him into the number 1 spot. As Buddy Tompkins rolls in off the backstretch through the center. The Deltona, Florida-based Dodge about to get cut loose. Here at Boyd Speedway, the Amalie Oil-sponsored machine. Those big zoomies as he flies away from the flag stand up here. You talk about a guy whose ego can either serve him well or jump up and bite him. Let's see what that beautiful white Ram has in store for the crowd here at Boyd Speedway. Taking some huge hits, and you see the sparks out from underneath. That was right around where the sway bar is mounted. There was a pop. I believe he just broke the sway bar. As you see, the arms still moving. They have not fallen loose, so we will see if he indeed damaged that inboard mounted sway bar by the end of this run. It's going to show itself here eventually. Tompkins giving the crowd all they wanted in Raising Cane. Brake rotors glowing, the crowd is standing. And I will say that run has to have taken over the number 1 spot, but we'll wait and see as Tompkins comes out to the cheers of the crowd. He just threw down the gauntlet for John Zimmer, a 27 for the big white Ram out of Florida. Driver out of the Sunshine State, he's just going to leave it there. Watch this jump again. Watch right in front of the cradle. See that big pop right there? I believe he split the sway bar in half. And when those things break, man, they shatter. And look to have a little more body roll toward the end of the run. We'll have to wait and see how much damage he indeed had, because they have a whole nother show to do here tomorrow now as John Zimmer comes out of Arlington, Vermont again, driving the beautiful C10 out of the Hoosier State. Jamie Garner steps towing overboard. He didn't waste any time. He goes right for the bus. Now, Buddy Tompkins left that big Ram in a bad spot, because when you come off that bus, your inkling is to shoot to the outside of the inside wall. That's right where Buddy Tompkins left Raising Cane. He's just hitting anything, any way he wants, however the truck lines up, and this is going to serve him well. Second hit on the bus, and he's headed right for Raising Cane. Into the wall. And now he's up against the Dodge. Look at that. He just gave Tompkins a nudge. Zimmer gonna wrap up an awesome run and overboard. The fans liked it. Was it enough? Yes, it was. By 1 point, overboard. Your freestyle champion here tonight, and that means he will also be your overall champ here at night 1 in Chattanooga for the All-Star Monster Truck Tour Homecoming Overboard. Ending the night 3 points up on Raising Cane. Those two guys fought tooth and nail and take nothing away from Triton Robbins and Crazy Train. He ran that truck as hard as we go. Remember, he was tied with Buddy Tompkins in best trick competition going into racing. Then it's Wolf's Head Plain Crazy, and you gotta again tip your hat to John Zimmer Jr. and crew for getting Terminal Velocity back out here on the track after all the damage he suffered. We're not done yet from here in Chattanooga. Next time, more action with the All-Star Monster Truck Tour right here at Boyd Speedway. We will see you then.